Well, good day. I'm Ruth Bowick, and I'm president of the New Horizons Senior Citizen Club. And today I'm in the quilting room with, first of all, with Gwen Ruby. She's sort of heads up this a lovely group called, appropriately enough, the Silver Thread. So I think that's really great. So I'd like to ask you, Gwen, what made you decide to set up these quilting sessions for seniors in Kenora, at the New Horizons especially?
Well, I don't think any of us like to sit at home and quilt by ourselves, and we just wanted to form our own group here, and that was open to the public so we can come and have fun. We were able to share our ideas and other passions that we have as far as anything to do with our quilting or sewing or now and making cards and that type of thing. So it's just a bunch of us, so we have nice sociability with all us ladies that are in with the Silver Threads.
And I see some of you even bring your lunch, so you stay over the lunch hour, do you?
Oh, yes, we do, yes. Yeah, we usually here from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon.
Well, sometimes you're taking advantage of the Thursday lunch down in the sea.
Oh, yes, we do.
That's nice.
Yes, we do.
So if you don't want to bring a lunch, you can go buy one and
exactly, and go socialize with the other ladies.
So I see there's 3, 4, 5, 6 of you here now. There's a couple more, isn't there? What is this?
It's usually about 8.
About 8
of us,
come,
yes.
And you come every
Thursday.
Every Thursday, okay. Do you take orders for quilts, or is this strictly a home thing, like for yourselves and family, maybe?
It's basically for ourselves, and we have made a quilt that we've donated to other associations for their fundraisers. And this year we donated one to It's a Dog's Life, so that they are able to raise funds for themselves.
So actually your group not only makes something for yourselves to do, but you make something to improve the community as well.
Yes, we try to. Yes, we do.
You just mentioned it previously that you often give things around town too.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. I've got a few more questions if you don't mind. I know you're anxious to get back at your quilting here.
No problem.
So I see now, and after watching a little bit, you all are so good to help each other.
Yes.
That's a nice part of it. If you run into anything difficulty or you need a little advice or some suggestions,
because we're all on different levels of sewing also, so it's great for us to help each other out.
Yeah. So I think I asked you, did you quilt mainly for your family, and like do some of them benefit from your expertise and your talents in getting a birthday gift or a christening gift or a special gift for some occasion?
Yeah, I would agree. I think we all we're trying to make heirlooms for our families.
Oh,
and
heirloom's
that type
a good word. Yes, that'll be passed down then from
exactly.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean, because someone gave me a quilt once, and it's going to go to, I don't know, I've got 2 granddaughters, and I don't know which of the 2 are going to get it. There's going to be a big fight, I think, over when I die. They'll all be clamoring.
That's
for
right.
this quilt.
They will be, yes. Okay. My granddaughter's already taken my first quilt I made, and she said, that's my heirloom.
Yes. Well, I got a note here about a Bonnie Hunter mystery quilt. Is that something you're doing for, is it some kind of a contest or something, a mystery contest or what?
No.
You know,
actually, it's just different quilts that we can do online.
Oh.
And everyone around the world actually gets involved with them.
With this mystery quilt?
Yes, with the mystery quilt, and then it's all put together, and then it's publicized, and other photos of other people's, how they've done it, because everybody's looks absolutely different because of all the different color choices.
Oh, so there's more than one mystery quilt?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
I thought one and everybody sent in a bunch of pieces,
oh,
and then
no.
And then somebody named Bonnie Hunter put them all together.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I'd like to comment on the state-of-the-art sewing machines you people have. I mean, they're really fantastic. But what really catches my eye is that teeny tiny iron over there.
I know.
Is that a quilting iron?
No, it's called the travel iron.
Oh, travel.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's easier to carry than the big one all the time. So,
right, yes. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for giving this time to explain what goes on here. And I would take it that you're open, more quilters could come if they want.
Oh, definitely. Yes, definitely.
Well, that's good. Yes,
we'd love to have you.
Nice, yeah. And as I say, you meet Thursdays?
Yes, just Thursdays, from 10 to 4.
Oh, yeah, that's why you have lunch.
Yes, in the multi-purpose room here.
So. Well, I think we're going to move over to what we call cards.
The quilting cards?
The quilting cards now.
Okay.
With Anne Fraschette, okay?
Yes,
so
very
thank
nice
you again.
to
Whoops, that's okay, I'll pick it up after.
Okay, thank you.
Well, now I'd like to introduce Anne Fraschette, and she is also a member of the Silver Threads Quilting Group. But she has this special project that she does once a year, if I remember.
I do it for birthdays and for Christmas.
Okay. Well, I think I already asked you if there's any special events you sort of do something, and it said whatever you want, whatever in your quilting mind that you would come up with some idea. Because I noticed you have beautiful. They're called quilted cards or quilting cards.
Quilted cards.
Quilted cards are absolutely beautiful, and you just stay here. I'm just going to go around here and just point out a couple here. You've got flowers and birds and morning glories and fruit, and this is something that you come up with an idea, and then you have to get pictures and cut them out, and then like how do you do this to get it onto material?
You hit the fabric stores.
Okay.
And you look at fabric that you think will fit in a 3x5 frame.
Was that the size?
That's the size of the cutout on the card.
Okay.
And so you look and try to envision what it's going to look like.
In the card.
And most of my cards, I want them to come out over the edges of the cutout.
Is there a reason for that?
It just gives more depth.
I see.
And it looks more interesting.
But they'll still fit in the envelope?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
They just fold over when they're in the
Oh, I
envelope. And
see.
when you get out, I usually tell people, take a toothpick and lift them up, and it'll come up.
So that was your own idea?
No, I learned it from someone else about 10,
I
12
see.
years ago, and I just loved it, so I kept doing it.
Well, hubby, if we take this here, and
This-
you're going to show me, I'll just move some of these cards. And supposing I wanted to get in how to do this myself. Now you've got them all. I would find the material. These look like gardenias.
They could be. I have no idea.
Well,
They
for
just
me,
interested me.
So I picked up this. I thought, gee, that's a pretty pattern. I would like to make a quilt card out of this thing. So
Okay.
I would go to the store now and buy some fabric.
You'd buy the fabric,
Okay.
and you only have to buy maybe half a meter at a time.
Or you cut it yourself then?
I cut it
Okay.
myself, and then you would place it on a piece of fabric and look at it to see which way, how you want it to go. So there, and the other thing you would do is then pull, and this is a very abbreviated
Well, we're doing it for television, so
version. Yeah.
it's like when they do something on food on the television, they show the finished product that should have been half an hour in the oven or something.
Yeah, and so here's your card. You're going to sort of audition the fabric to see if you like the way it looks.
Oh, I see.
And pull, whoops, well, that one can wait. Pull it up and look at it.
So let's kind of hold it up here.
Well, let me grab it
Yeah, I'll
here.
let you.
So there's what it's going to look like.
So that's sort of the start. I've cut out bought the piece of material, cut out the flowers, and now I bought the cards. You buy the cards for a stationery shop or?
The only place I've found them so far is in BC.
Oh, really?
You set it up, look at it. You have to stitch this onto your base.
Oh, that piece of material you showed me.
Yep, it has to be stitched
okay.
down. Then you fiddle around with it, figure out how you want it to look, bring your sides up, and have the points showing so that it adds a little bit more
And
dimension.
it's beautiful already. Like you haven't even. Like,
Yep, and then, as I say, you stitch it down. When that's done,
So you the whole the card you stitch
just
it onto the
fab-
card?
No.
Oh, just on that
because
backing.
On the card, there's tape.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
going to tape itself into the card.
Ah, I see.
And,
Okay.
and so once it's stitched down, then you're going to, I like glitter.
Yeah, I
so
see
I
that.
put glitter
Yeah.
on, and they just bring out
Perk it up.
another dimension.
Do we have a card here with glitter on it?
They
Yeah,
all
I see.
have- they all
oh,
have
yeah,
glitter.
I see. So it does make a difference, doesn't it?
It just,
yes, absolutely.
It just pops it.
Yeah, I'll say. Yeah, I like that one. I get Marty Glory and Gardenia.
Yeah.
So then you've got, so it's glued on, and then you do the glitter.
It's sewn on,
Oh, it's sewn on.
then you do the glitter. I sign the back of my cards. Sorry about that. That wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't
Oh, yeah, I
sewn
see
down.
you've got here.
I
You've
put my
got
name in the
Ann
year.
27. So yeah.
And basically, they can be set up and they're ready to go for any occasion.
Ah, good. Right.
I do.
Well, these certainly are. These are just. This is. I'm just wondering, like, how did you hear about? I've never heard about this till today. So how did you hear about this?
It was at the Kenora Quilt Guild, the Lake of the Woods Quilt Guild.
Oh,
Nancy Bergman
okay.
taught.
Oh yeah,
the
I know
course.
Nancy. Yes.
And she taught us how to do landscape pictures.
Okay.
And I do these as well as big stand-ups or wall hangings. And the cards are just fun because you can give them to more people.
Right, right. And not only that, they never get thrown away. I'm sure people would even frame them. I'll bet you people would frame these cards after they get them.
Most of my sisters and brothers have framed all my cards, so they have walls.
That's a treasure. It's really a treasure. It's sort of like what Gwen said over there. It's like an heirloom.
It is.
Yes, yes. Very nice, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you very much for showing. Is there anything else I could? So I've pretty near got this card made in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be about it. It's searching the background to see if you want something that's going to pop, or if you're going to fill the full card, so it's going to be a neutral color in the back, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I see you've got this. I like this color.
If you're not going to be using the whole thing, a color that stands out really is another thing that pops the card.
So you have to buy, this is a different color material.
Yeah.
So you have to, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
and basically you go through your scrap pile.
Oh, of course, you could use scraps.
Yeah.
So you're here, now these quilting ladies that are here today, you've got some other swatches and pieces on the down. You're going to teach them how to make their own cards?
They're going to learn to make their own cards today.
And will they do a whole card? They'll complete a card?
They'll complete up to 3 cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Before you're finished at 4 o'clock this afternoon?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there would be hope for me if I could stay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There is.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, well, thank you so much. It was
You're
just a
very
pleasure
welcome.
talking with you. And I don't know, I'll give you my address. You could maybe send you a card?
Okay.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. And
You're
thanks
very
to
welcome.
everybody at Silver Threads. This has just been a wonderful experience for me. I'm not very artistic, so I admire people that are so artistic and talented like this. So thank you very much. Well, we're back, and I'm Ruth Bowick again. Now I'm going to be talking with Marilyn Benson. She's the arts coordinator for our New Horizons Senior Citizen Artist Program. So welcome, Marilyn. This is really nice to have you here. And now I think this is fascinating when I'm seeing, it looks like you've got a little toy train, and you're repainting it. Do you want to just tell us what are you doing with this little toy train that looks so fascinating?
Well, it's a train that my father built 40 years ago for my son. And I have decided to remove the old varnish, sand it off, and repaint it in bright colors because my grandson, who's almost 2, and the 4-year-old are coming, and I thought it would be nice for them to be able to touch this heritage train.
It really is. So you've got the,
yes.
That's the engine.
Yeah, an engine
And
and,
then-
a tanker truck, and
this is the,
I'm not too sure what the names are, but I guess it's an engine.
whatever that is. That must, you said you had to strip the varnish. It must have been really difficult getting varnish off between those little posts and everything.
Yes, well,
Really?
probably a woodworker would probably not approve
Why, what did
my
you do?
results, but I just took sandpaper and I just kind of went around and just worked my way through, but it may not satisfy a professional, but it's okay for me.
Well, that's right, and I'm sure, what's the name of your grandson? What's his first name?
Calvin.
Calvin. Oh, that's
Yes,
nice.
Calvin and Clark, yes, that's their names. Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll love it, and especially when he finds out, because he's 2, you said? 2?
He'll be-
well, then he'll understand that this
yeah,
was
he's
would
about
be
18 months.
it'd be great-grandpa now that made this to him.
That's right.
Yes,
yeah.
well, I think
he
that's
won't
wonderful.
understand, but he likes taking them apart. I was at his place, and he was taking apart the trains, and so
Oh,
these all link together on
Well, that is
on
pretty.
little. They link together on
I
little
see
hooks,
that. That's,
yeah.
yes, and he'll just run it around the floor. And
Yeah.
good. Well, I think that's really a treasure. That's what they call a family heirloom that goes to stages for stage, down, down,
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Okay, when did you first become involved here with the senior citizens? That's what I'd like to know.
Senior center?
Yes,
We used to be in a studio. It was called Studio 9. It used to be across from the Boston Pizza, on top there.
Oh, yes, okay.
And eventually the owners decided that they no longer wanted to rent out the space. And so some of us were thinking, well, it would be nice to continue as a little group, whoever wanted to. And we investigated, and we were welcomed here. And it's open to anybody who wants to come and putter, or they can sketch, draw, trace, paint if they want, or work on crafts if they want, and
okay.
we welcome anybody who would like to join us.
So what is the size of your group now?
Well,
I'm sure you
yeah,
probably started with a couple and then...
it dwindles with the snowbirds leaving.
Oh, that's right too, yes.
And people come and go. So we used to have 3 or 4 more people that were coming, and now they've gone away. And but we have interest from others who are retiring who would like to do something, and some who have gone to workshops just recently, and they seemed interested in joining us. And so we welcome the doors to anybody who wants to come.
Well, that's really wonderful.
Yeah.
So how long have you been here then, in this in the seniors building, in the New Horizons building?
We must have been here probably 5 or 6 years,
that
maybe
long.
more, something like that. And we have changed our schedule time to time to accommodate people that work. So our latest change was to go on Monday because the girl started working. She couldn't come Thursdays. So we decided to go with 2 days a week, Mondays and Thursdays
really?
afternoons. But it may well be that in the future we'll go back to just one day because people have other commitments and stuff like that. So we kind of go with the flow and try to adapt.
What the traffic is,
Yeah,
yes. I noticed behind us there's some artwork. Now, is that from your students?
But they're not my students because they. I don't actually teach, except then we all help each other if we know something. But they are works by Lynn Corella, who is doing this wonderful.
Well, we'll be
here.
talking to her in a few minutes. Yes.
Donnie has some.
Which one's Donnie's up there? The one with the mountain in the background?
Yes, and
That's nice.
and that beautiful moth. And this is Diane Griffith with the pink.
Oh, yes,
and,
okay.
And others, and that's Linda Denver up there, and Donnie has more over there, and I have more at that end. And this is from, I think, Deanna in the office. She did a
Oh,
little
really?
course
Deanna
with,
did? Oh, okay.
Debbie Ruth. And, so we change them up. We do something, and we change them up. And,
Well, this is really nice of you to give your time. So right now you're doing it 2 days a week.
Yes,
But
right
you
now-
hope that once they get organized and know what they're doing more, you'll need to go down to 1 day a week.
Well, if that's what the people
If they
want to do.
okay.
And then we go from, right now we're going from 1 to 4, but we can extend our time if we want to.
That's 1 in the afternoon till 4.
Yeah, we're very lucky because we're allowed to use the kitchen to make ourselves tea, and we can buy some of the dainties that are left from lunch hour, or we can bring our lunch and use the microwave.
Oh, really? So there's a lot of amenities here for you.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's nice and bright. And
Well, that's for sure. It's beautifully and bright. Yes.
Yes, and
which any artist wants. That's the first thing they look for is a bright room. Yes.
Yeah. We don't tend to use solvents because there's no fan ventilation in here.
Oh,
so
I see.
we tend to work with watercolors and acrylics or pen and ink or pencil stuff.
Okay.
But once in a while, if somebody comes with oil paints, as long as they cover their stuff up and they don't leave it out, not the solvents, or they use the no solvent kind of oil paints. There's water-based oil paints, and well, we just try to encourage each other to experiment and try things. And
Where do you get your supplies? Because I don't think there's an artist supply store here. And you must have to you send on Amazon or something. You go into the city, or how do you get all your painting supplies?
Yeah, we have several things. Wilson's has been very good too.
Right. Well, that's local. That's nice.
Yes, and Walmart's has a certain amount.
Oh, they do. Okay.
The new dollar store, it has things like the inexpensive little canvases and some little bottles of paints like these and some little nylon bristles.
Okay.
But yes, and they have the black, what's that called?
Easel board? Bristol
well,
board?
no, that's not Bristol board, it's another name. But anyways, the foam core. Foam core.
Let's see. Hand it over.
And they have it pre-cut to a nice size, so it's nice for displaying the work on. And
No, that's you did that?
Yep. Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
I'll be over to you in a few minutes there, Donnie. So that's really so. This is the paper that the white
That's a
stuff
watercolor
is
paper, yeah.
Okay, and this is the board this is like an easel then.
well, no,
it's not?
It's a finishing board for
finishing board,
displaying,
okay.
so that he can put it up and show it off or
Hand them
whatever.
up. Ah, okay.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And yeah, so
You're really going ahead. Well, I know you're kind of an artist of renown in Kenora, and I know for a fact that many of your paintings are up on walls in Kenora homes and probably elsewhere too. Have you ever brought your own work out of town for a display?
Just once I went to the Sunero show.
Oh yes, okay. In the
once
summer,
to
the one in the summer.
Dryden, yeah, but it's quite a difficult thing to pack up all the paintings and watercolors and frames and all that. We paint because we like it. You
Well,
know,
that's true. You
so,
do it. Yeah, that's a nice.
that's right. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much, and now I'm going to pop over here to Dawn Laffenier, and I can sneak behind you. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure. And I'll be talking with Dawn in just a few minutes.
Sure.
Well, now I'm with Dawn Laffenier, and Dawn, you're going to actually show me how exactly it is that you start to paint. But first of all, before you start to paint, I want to know, when did you become involved with this art group here at the New Horizons Senior Citizens Group? Have you been here a year, 2 years, or
I believe
doing this? I mean, doing the artist work.
It's been about 2.5 years now, roughly, that I started here. Before that, I didn't do hardly any drawing at all anywhere. I really didn't know that I could.
Oh, really? Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Like you weren't sketching at home or doodling? Well, doodling, everybody doodles, but I mean,
No, very, very
But you never
little.
sort of picked up a pen and ink or something? And,
No.
Yeah, okay.
Unless I was
So
maybe
we-
in grade 1,
Oh, well, yeah.
6 years old.
Okay, yeah, when you had to. So to get to the caliber that you are now, I just think some of your work that's up here is really fabulous. So now I'm going to see how you complete, or even if we don't get finished, but if you could show us
Well,
how you start out. Hold that up. Well, okay. Hold this up.
first of all, I want this.
Excuse me, Don.
Yep.
This is what you're going to show me. You're going to be painting this beautiful portrait of a horse's head. It's gorgeous. Now, I can't figure out if it was in the winter and he's in the snow, or if he's a really old horse with gray hair. So you are going to, as we go along, let me in on the secret. So
Well, this is a horse that's been out in the cold and it's got frost. Hoar frost all around it.
That's what it is,
The little
okay.
white lines you see there is frost. So I want to try and replicate this horse, and I'm doing it on acrylic paper. It's a 140-pound paper that I'm using, and I'm putting a wash on the back here, so that gives you your back color.
Okay.
Gray, and maybe I'll put a little blue in it later. But I got that gray in there to start with, and then this backdrop has trees standing upright.
and so they're going to go over in the.
Yeah, so I've got trees drawn in here. I can just barely see the lines, but that's where the trees will go, and it would be like birch trees in behind that.
So do you want to get
horse.
started then?
Yes,
Maybe we could start. Do you think we could start on the horse's head, so you could show me a little bit about the horse, the hoarfrost?
Oh yes, well.
Is that what it's called, hoarfrost?
Hoarfrost, yeah. Well, that frost is going to be drawn in with this different pen. It's a different media, but it puts in these little white lines over top of the color of the horse. If you didn't have this pen, it'd be very, very difficult to paint those
May I see
the
the
white.
pen?
Yeah, it's called jelly roll.
What is
That's
called? Jelly roll. That's
That's the
neat.
name of the pen.
So I want.
Yeah. So I've got 3 different colors here. I've got white
Yeah, okay.
and wider white, and I've also got a blue pen, which I may have to use the blue somewhere in this
To get the
coloring.
effect, like
Yeah,
to get the okay.
get that effect with
See,
the
who would
white.
have thought there was blue mixed in with white to make it look like?
Yeah, you
more-
really got to look
yeah,
at
yeah.
it sometime to distinguish the colors, and so far I came up with that so far. And the reason I'm doing this background first is I like to get the wash on the back of the
So
the
that's
paper.
done though. You've got the wash on.
Yeah, I've got that wash on there, separate from the horse. The horse is there. So I get this wash on, then I've got to color the horse itself, which is the color of brown, different colors of browns and shades. So it's kind of a little bit harder than what it looks. But anyhow, you go ahead and you keep on painting, and then you make sure you can get all these little white lines painted in later.
Well, would you like to start doing some paint, like a little
Yes,
bit?
I've already started on this now, and I put this wash on the back for the backdrop.
Excuse me, just for a second. Do
Sure.
you want me to put this up in the easel so
Very
you
good,
can see?
sure,
You
that's
can
a little
see,
better
like,
up
as you're,
there.
yeah. So you can see too.
I kind of like to be able to glance
So
up
pick
there.
up an artist brush here, and
Okay.
let's see what you're going to do.
Okay, so I'm just putting on this wash, and I've got.
Oh, you're still doing the wash.
Yes, I'm just touching up here and there where I kind of didn't quite get it even, and I'll use a blotting cloth if I get it a little bit too dark or too much, and I'll just take my blotting paper and kind of tap it down like that, and it picks up the color, some of the color
okay.
off there. That's my idea of doing it anyway, and okay, now I've got to say, well, I'm going to start the color of that horse.
The brown color.
Yeah. So, well, what we need is some brown. I'll take this. I don't know if this one will do it or not. Not really what I want, but this part of the brown would be okay for this part of, of the horse. So maybe that's what I'll paint next, just to get something on there, just to have some idea. Usually I try and mix up plenty enough paint so you don't have to keep mixing. You mix up enough paint that you think you're going to use on that horse of that color. Well, what do you think about that color?
Well, looks kind of close.
Pretty close, eh?
I think
And
so.
the thing is, with acrylic paint, you can always go over it a little bit. I like to start light and go over it with a little bit darker as I go along.
And then have it too dark, and then it's, it's hard to take off something dark than it is to add something to
That's
the...
exactly right. So there we are. We got a little bit of color mixed here. See, I'd try a little dab on the paper here just to see what color I'm getting.
Kind of
That is
close.
pretty darn close, so I'm happy with that right now. Now we just got to make sure that I kind of around in this little area where the brown is. So, and once you get these kind of spots done like that with that color, then you go on to another color to blend it in.
So do that for me.
To blend in? Yeah,
Yes,
I'll do
please.
this little color here.
No, but another color to blend in. I think I'm starting to understand what you're...
Basically, that's basically what I do. So then I have to go to another,
Be careful of that tape down that room.
I should have had these colors all lined up,
Yes,
ready
Donnie,
here.
you should have.
but I didn't really know
I told you I was going to be asking you to do a painting.
I didn't know whether I was going to be going quite this far or not.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
Here's some black you
Here's-
can
I need-
put into your horse.
I need brown.
A bit of black with this color will give you a little, just put a little bit of your black with that color.
Oh, black for up in here.
Well,
No, to mix it. I think you're talking about this, eh?
If you want to mix a little bit of a darker color.
That's what I want,
just add
yep.
a tiny bit of black in a separate container.
So you're suggesting that he puts a little bit of black to go here?
Well, if he puts a little bit of black with this color, it'll give him a little bit of a darker brown look.
You're right,
Okay.
and I just couldn't come up with that idea all of a sudden.
Well, maybe I'm making you nervous.
I think I was just trying to rush. I knew I had brown somewhere, but I don't. Really, that looks way too dark. I guess.
So add some more of your light.
Hey?
Add some more.
Well, you know what? I'm going to let you continue to, fix this up a little
Okay.
bit, and I'm going to just say that it's just been a pleasure to have you, and maybe I'll have a minute just to check back later. If not, what we can do is we can see it here you can put it up in the New Horizons. I can see the finished project.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I'll
so,
work away at
yeah.
this, and if you want to come back, that's fine. I should have that color done by then.
I would, okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for now with you,
Okay.
Dawn, and thank you again, Marielle. This has just been really wonderful to see
Pleasure.
artists at work. Just before we close on this segment of what goes on at the New Horizons Senior Center, I'd like to point out another aspect of artists at work. And this is really intriguing to me because these all are just absolute rocks picked up from the bottom of the ground. The artist has turned these into really quite magnificent pieces. To think that, and I'm very fascinated by the little Christmas trees, just bits of shale that she's painted green. So it's not just oils and watercolors and pencil and ink. You can turn an ordinary rock into a work of art. So I'll be back soon with some more aspects of what goes on at the New Horizons Senior Center.